In this episode, we install a retractable pressure cleaner and a wall mounted vac to my dream shed build. No more farting around. Welcome back to the Iron Empire. I'm Mark Arnold, and in this episode, we are back on my dream shed build. And in particular, we're gonna add a professional level of car cleaning abilities to this thing, and I cannot wait. I'm sick of tripping over the old clapped out portable pressure washers, and I've had a gutful. The vacuum we've got is absolutely stuffed, and it is time to take this thing to a new level. That's where Blahst comes in. We're going to do some installations, and then we're going to go to town on these things and basically clean every car in the yard. Maybe not the ones in the paddock. So the first step with this project is an easy one. I've got to decide where it's going to go. So I do most of my cleaning right here on this little lawn, and generally speaking, I do a vacuuming right here under the cover. So we're going to bang the pressure washer on this post, which means the tree needs to move, but that's okay because it's just in a pot. And the Bronco, I'm going to shift that down to the end. The pressure washer is able to be stored outdoors or mounted outdoors. So the weather's not going to be an issue, and that way I can drag this thing out into the driveway or out into the driveway that way where the parking area is. It is also swivel, so I've got plenty of options of where I can clean things. The hard part to this step is actually getting my services to this post. I'm going to need water and I'm going to need power. Water is way on the other side of the shed, and power is just there, so that's an easy one. So I'm gonna wrap up some of this boring stuff tonight and get this thing ready to go, so hopefully tomorrow we can start doing the fun stuff like mounting that. Also, the vacuum, that's gonna go just inside this door here, so we'll get to that tomorrow. All right, we are the next day now, and I've already failed on two things. I didn't have enough pipe to get from the other side of the shed to here, and I didn't have an outdoor power point to put on this post. So that's gonna happen later. It doesn't matter. I can run a hose and a lead to this in the meantime. I just wanna get this thing on the wall. We've got a user guide and a stubby holder in there, that's handy. This looks like a bunch of different nozzle, like different tips for the gun. The gun is right here. We'll obviously put this together once the wall unit's on there. We've got hose, we've got some really nice brass fittings. They look really quality. So, and look at that, plumber's tape. They thought of everything to try and get this job done without running to the hardware. Wall bracket, that will go on that post. Well packaged. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, sweet. Look at these. These fittings are unreal. Look, that's quality. I need to get that for my hose. I'm forever breaking plastic fittings, junk. All right, here it is, the Blahst unit. I am stoked on this. This thing's heavy duty. It's like made out of pretty heavy gauge steel, riveted together. Nice swivel on the back. Let's get it on. All right, now to get this puppy on the post, bracket, bang it on there. I'm gonna level this thing up. The post is obviously going to be level because that's how I build things. but maybe it's not level. That doesn't look level. Oh, hang on. Yeah, wow. It is level, that's interesting. Easier. Quick tip, if you don't have a level, just shut one eye and give it the old, that usually gets a pretty good job. Oh yeah. Woo-hoo. Oh hell yeah. All right, so this comes with mounting hardware that I haven't used because I went straight into timber, but it does come with masonry wall anchors, which is super handy because nothing worse than having to run to Bunnings when you need stuff halfway through a job. But maybe I'd suggest padlocking it because this is a hot item. All mounted up, as you can see, absolutely piece of piss. I'm going to undo this just to see how long it is. It is a substantially, it's actually a pretty decent long cord. What are we, probably like a 4 or 5 meter cord there. But as I said earlier, I do need to mount that outdoor wall plug here because my power is like probably 10 to 12 meters away. And I needed to do it anyway. I wanted a wall plug out here for a while now, so I'll do that later. For now, I'm gonna get to connecting up all these plumbing bits and pieces. We'll run the hose out here, and then we can start having some fun with this thing. Okay, so we have the Blahst all connected up, ready to go. Now, as I said, I have run my own hose just to my tap because it's too far away. But the good thing about this unit is that it comes with its own hose and brass fittings. So you can run its own separate hose from there straight to the tap. And it even comes with the hardware to go on your tap. So all you need to have already is a post or a wall to mount the thing on and a tap with water running to it. This is actually really good stuff. How's that quality? All right, so we're now all ready to go. Little on-off on the back there. The water should be flowing and it should be ready to roll. Now these are like a quick release air fitting sort of thing. Oh yeah. Oh. Clean your palm tree. Okay, now before I put this thing fully to the test, one thing I would suggest first is maybe mock it up first to make sure you're really happy with the wall height. I think this might even be a touch high for me. I've sort of got to lean up, but I'm straight to timber, so I can drop this down super easily. Before we put this thing to the test and actually clean something, there's more to unbox. Yeah, nice. Okay, so what we have is a foam cannon with the appropriate wash we're going to use, and yeah, this is going to be awesome for cleaning the cars. And it comes with all different adjustable nozzles, different fittings, tips. There is the turbo nozzle. There's plenty of stuff for us to have a play with, so let's get this all fitted up and clean something, maybe the Tirana. So while I wait for this sun to move a little bit more, because I don't want to be washing the car in the full sun, I thought I'd get this wall-mounted vacuum cleaner out, and maybe we can throw that on the wall. I've got a spot in the shed there which I reckon is going to work really well. So if you're wondering why this box is looking like it's been through hell, it's because it kind of has. It's funny, the team at Blahst are really confident in their products, and in particular, the durability of their products. So before I've even got this thing out of the box, I've already put it to the test. This thing has already copped it. The box has held up. So now it's just a matter of pulling this thing out. Packaging, definitely passed the test. Hopefully, it still works. So we've got the wall mounted vacuum ready to go. This section of wall, I eventually will be insulating that and lining that like the rest of the shed. But for now, I've just thrown a bit of MDF up here just to get the thing mounted. But it's like a half a dozen screws. We can have this removed and replaced in no time. There is a massive amount of hose here, so I can like park a car out here. I can vacuum inside the shed, probably 2 bays in comfortably. I can vacuum out in under the carport comfortably, and as you can see, massive amount of suction. Absolutely stoked on this thing. And the actual best thing of this whole setup is that this is a wet vac, so I can suck up, you know, we can do some shampooing on some carpets, suck up all that extra water we don't want, and it's not going to hurt it. It will all collect here, empty it out. I'm absolutely stoked with this setup, and as you can see right here, we got the pressure washer there, and we got the wall mounted vac here. We are absolutely set up, ready to clean some stuff. All right, so we're finally gonna put this thing to the test. I always try and wait for the sun to disappear. You don't wanna be washing a car with any suds, or really with water when you've got the sun beating down on it. That's where you get your rings that really sink into the paint, and it just does damage. So we're in the shade. It's a little bit cooler now as well. Before I start getting some water around the place, I might actually see, this isn't usually where I would vacuum the car, but might actually make it. Hang on. Oh, no way. This is actually, I thought there was no chance. That's actually going to make it all the way to the back as well. Wow, okay. So now this car is, admittedly, it's not super dirty, but it does need a wash. It has got a bit of bug shit on it, and it has got a layer of dust, and I really don't want to put the cover back on it when it's in the shed until it's clean. So let's get into it. First, we're going to give it a vacuum, and yeah, let's get this cannoning happening. Yeah, we got some mouse shit in here. The hell is this? Bugs. Flying ants. So we've given this thing a vacuum. I'm absolutely stoked with that. I couldn't believe it actually made it. 8 meters of hose. So I actually can do pretty much the entire car here where it sits. I want to give this thing a clean off. The thing I love about this new situation we've got going on here is that not only can we run this like a typical gun, we can shorten it right up and run these little ends. You got the options here. Where's the other one? Oh, it's in my pocket. We've got these fittings here. That one's the jet, and that one there has 5 different settings on it. So you can still get the same options, but you're right up here short and you don't have to have the big long gun. Sometimes it can be awkward. So we're just gonna hose this off now, get the dust off, and then we'll hit it with the foam cannon. So we really try and get as much off of the car as we can without touching it with a sponge or a brush or anything, because every time we touch this car, we're scratching it. So if you got a car like this, we're trying to keep this thing to last forever. The least we touch it, the better. Okay, so we got the car all blasted down in the foam, and it's obviously a lot of fun. I've never used one of these before, of any brand, but I can tell you that this is unbelievably easy to swap over. So that one clips off. It's literally like a Nitto fitting, like a air fitting. And then this one goes straight on. So this is like a pull the neck back and click straight in. And then you're rinsing. I actually really like this little short one because you can sort of get right over there and make sure you're getting the job done and not, I don't know, I feel like it's sort of a bit better for this particular application. And I'm gonna go around, get this all off. Remember guys, when you're doing this, you do not wanna leave that on the paint, especially if it's a warmer day. This will dry quick. You wanna keep this wet at all times. So let's go. I actually love this. This head is unbelievable. You can change it from like a 65, 40, 25, 15 down to a 0, which is like a pinpoint. So if you come across any crap that's sort of a little bit concentrated, you can like really zone in on it at just like at your fingertips. You're at it and back to a bit of a wider sprawl, and just like get the rest of the suds off. Holy hell, without sounding too much like a dork, you actually just kind of want to keep washing because it actually is ridiculously fun. One thing I have also, not to bang on about the short handle because I'm absolutely loving this, but I actually have a bit of a crook shoulder. So when you're swinging around a really big gun, even like the ones that you might use at the local car wash or whatever, it does weigh on my shoulder. I have to swap arms from time to time because a bit of a pansy, but no, I actually got some issues here. This was like, it's so much lighter. I actually am frothing this. So anyway, I'm gonna get this all wiped down with a microfiber, and then maybe I should clean something else. What's really dirty? Okay, so as you can see, this thing is ridiculously handy. Once it's all mounted up like this, you've got 18 meters of hose to work with, making it super versatile, and the 8 meters of hose on the wall vac. Obviously, that is absolutely plenty. I literally parked the car out here. So obviously that is the first draw card of these items. But where it gets better for me is just the build quality. Like this fitting is ridiculously heavy. Like it is heavy duty brass with a heavy duty rubber coating on it. They've got these air style fittings with an O-ring, with obviously it was designed that this is reusable in and out, and it's going to last better. So it does come with a few spare parts as well. So it comes with the little pinch weld that runs around the opening here. It comes with new O-rings, little things like that. It doesn't mean a lot like in way of cost, but just the fact that it's there ready to go. So if an O-ring splits, you're not out of action, like you're ready to go again. Like that is super handy. So another thing that this is really impressive is the fact that they've designed this thing around the perfect, like optimal pressure. It's not about blasting this thing to 5 billion PSI. It's about getting the pressure bang on that you can go to town on anything you want to clean without the risk of doing damage. You got to remember, these cars, especially nowadays, the paint's getting thinner and thinner and thinner. Or the old school cars like we have, most of the stuff we're working on, the last thing we want to do is blow off some paint that has been hanging on for years. Also rubbers, you don't want to be blasting inside your rubbers and doing damage. So there's so many things, decals, stickers, that Sandman, all those beautiful decals we got on that thing. If you got too much pressure, you're just going to be doing damage. So it's not always more is best. These things have been really dialed in to get you the best result without doing any damage. Yeah, look, I'm stoked on this thing. Obviously, you guys are going to see this a bunch more on the channel with different projects we have going forward. Blahst have a bit more of a range that I wouldn't mind getting my hands on as well. I'm going to keep putting this thing to the test. And as you can see, when this box come off the trailer at 110 and it survived, I was pretty impressed. So I'm glad that wall vac is still working. My 2 cents, this thing is wicked. So do your research and look into get one of these things for yourself. Anyway, that is it for this episode of the Iron Empire. Another wicked upgrade for my dream shed build. I cannot be happier. Yeah, we'll see you all on an upcoming episode. Cheers, guys.